CrunchyRoll finally did something amazing today. They double dropped MHA dubs. So there's 2 MHA dubs that came out today at the same time, which is amazing. Thank you, CrunchyRoll, because they were a week further behind than they even wanted to be, I think, because of the snowstorms or whatever was happening. So because of that, they were like 3 weeks behind instead of 2 weeks behind. But now they've caught up, and I'm very happy that they did that. I didn't think they were going to do that. That was a great surprise. Beautiful. So today, because of that, I'm going to be watching 2 episodes of MHA. They're not going to be in the same video. This video is just going to be episode 18. I will be posting episode 19's reaction 4 hours normally after I post this video. That does mean that my Blue Lock reaction will be pushed back to tomorrow, to the next day. So if you're a Blue Lock fan, I'm sorry, you might have to wait an extra bit of time for that, but I just can't fit this many videos into my schedule. But the MHA, we'll get 2 MHA videos today. So you MHA fans, after you finish watching this video, if you're watching it within 4 hours of it coming out, you gotta wait. But if you're watching it a bit later, then you can go to my channel and check out the next episode right away. So this episode, I'm super excited. I think we're probably gonna go into the vestige conversation, because at the end All Might was like, he's probably speaking with the vestiges right now. So I bet we're gonna have a bit of a vestige conversation. Maybe Deku will wake up. Maybe we're gonna get this plot started in the episode after that, possibly, depending on what happens. You know, we find out what's the deal with the purple-haired lady. I'm very excited. Yeah, I just can't believe I'm gonna be watching 2 episodes of MHA today. This is gonna be great. If you want to watch the full-length reactions to these videos, please make sure to go to my Patreon account, where you can see the full-length versions. They go up a little bit later than the edited versions on Sundays, generally, just because it's such a busy day for me. But they will be up as soon as I can get them up. They'll be up, so make sure to go over there. I'm also doing exclusive reactions like Bochi the Rock over there. So let's get into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go.
We need to have ourselves a talk before you wake up.
Oh my god, they're all in like a round table conference. Who are those people at the back?
Apologies.
Who are these?
Fate has brought us here. When he first used Black Whip,
Oh, Nana's here.
These are the people who had One for All before me.
Oh my god. So much lore.
The reason is related to my power,
Uh-huh.
which you now hold. We're able to take shape and communicate with each other inside of One for All.
Oh my god.
We gained even more freedom. It's now far easier for us to appear before
Oh my god.
Don't you worry.
Just
We'll
any
still give you
time.
Plenty of privacy, if you know what I mean.
I think that sometimes.
Right, I forgot to put up
I
an
think like,
alternate
what, are they gonna watch me jerk off all the time?
Dang!
What do you want to talk about? I heard that,
allow me
but
to
the subtitles didn't help. I can't read that because CrunchyRoll still doesn't. You got 2 episodes in a day. You can't subtitle your shows.
According to All Might, the fourth wielder's quirk was the ability to
Danger
sense
sense?
danger.
it was kind of a shock, to be honest.
Makes a lot of sense.
Thor's a weird one. Started living in seclusion like a hermit.
Oh, cool.
Mine was a terrible era. Were you informed of how I died and how old I was at the time?
Look at him. He's great.
We discovered I died of old age.
But
At
he
40?
was so young.
Oh no.
I was as surprised as you.
Don't tell
Found
me.
out because Yagi looked into the matter.
One for all.
What this fact leads us to believe
Oh no.
is that One for All can't be wielded safely by an ordinary human being.
Oh god. He's not gonna die.
Second only to Yagi in terms of users who lived with
Soon.
the quirk the longest. The natural causes that killed me were due to the multiple quirks inside my body.
Oh no.
Drastically shortened my lifespan.
Oh, this isn't good.
We don't have a proper sample size. Most of us didn't have the power long.
Okay.
We died in battle, not of old age.
That's good at least.
So we asked.
All Might was quirkless.
Oh.
Yagi being the exception. With no quirk of his own, he's the only user who gained a vestige through One for All itself.
Huh.
Think of Yagi was able to use One for All over the course of 40 years because his vessel was empty at first. My
Okay.
cultivated power fit perfectly. Could only reach its true potential when wielded by someone born powerless.
That's interesting. Wow.
If we'd been able to talk with the other users sooner, perhaps fewer people might have suffered over the years.
I like them
You get
showing
what
Night
this
Eye there.
means, kid? You might be the last person who wields One for All.
My god. The last wielder.
And now the real
Wow.
question. Can you kill Tomura Shigaraki?
Oh, kill! Oh, she used those words very specifically. Shit. Probably have to also kill All for One while you're at it. He's
Tell
still out
us.
there.
You thought he looked as though he was asking for help,
Yeah.
didn't you? We feel
This
your
is like the end of
emotions.
Avatar.
I think his plan was probably to possess Shigaraki both physically and mentally,
Does the
so that he could take one.
first holder have the same opinions as
Me
Deku?
again. My junior here. Our best guess is All for One's trying to use Shigaraki's hatred as a booster.
Oh, interesting.
We're in a terrible situation. It's disgraceful that I failed to achieve my goal, and now have to rely on a 16-year-old. However, if that monster manages to fully awaken, no one will be able to stop him.
Yeah.
You can't make him see reason.
Yeah, it's
or
pretty
offer him
monstrous.
forgiveness. Some people are simply beyond redemption. And I believe Tomura is one of them.
Does Deku
if
believe
you
that
think
some
he
people are
looked like he
beyond
wanted to be
redemption?
saved,
I don't know.
Ask yourself.
I think Deku probably could kill him. Like, I think he does have the resolve, but he won't.
He looked like he was in trouble. The thing is, I never found out why they ended up becoming villains. What caused all their anger. If I had known, maybe things would have been different.
Gentle. Aww.
That's something I learned from All Might. It's not just me.
It's evolved into something else thanks to
Oh,
what
he's
you've done.
able to speak clearly.
One for All has taken on another purpose in this world.
Aww.
I don't know
Oh
what I
my.
should do next. That's true.
I want to save that little kid.
He's got pure intentions when it comes down to it.
And that's why we'll follow your lead.
I knew the first holder would be on his side. He is very similar to Deku.
This was a test, for which I apologize.
Oh, that's
When
good.
you wake up, tell him I said hello.
Oh.
We made a mistake those many years ago. Yet somehow, we were still blessed with the most amazing students.
I love Nana.
We need your cooperation.
Yeah, who the fuck are you
One
two?
for All's full potential.
You were once quirkless, and now look at you.
It's nice to meet you, All Might.
You're Hawks, right?
Oh,
skip
I
the
forgot
intro so
All
I can
Mights
get
and
straight to the
All Might
important
and
stuff.
Hawks hadn't met each
Is
other.
Midoriya going to recover? A hero from the raid heard something about it on the radio, a mere UA student. I'm trying to get the full picture.
Oh, he's gonna figure it
From
out.
now on, we're not just fighting villains.
Things have changed so much, so quickly.
Now the safety of the world, you might need
These
to.
two aren't the types to back down.
That's true.
We should talk somewhere private.
They need somebody to put their faith in.
Darby is indeed
Let
my
Lucy
oldest
Christian
son,
just be the
Todoroki.
narrator for this whole show.
I can't deny what he spoke is the truth. To apologize for my misdeeds.
Oh man,
Endeavor
get the notes
talked
app
to the
out.
press at length about his family's ugly past and asked the world to forgive him.
Oh man.
At length, he told the whole
That's the end of his
story.
pro career.
Oh my
What a
god.
terrible father.
But the rest of the awful things Dobby mentioned are correct for the most part.
Wow,
My
they're
father's
coming
identity.
forward with all of
Though I
it.
killed a desperate villain who was running away. That's all true. The damage would have been unimaginably worse than it already was.
Yeah.
I did want to bring him in for his crimes. But in the end, his concern for his fellow League members forced the issue.
Yeah,
had
I
to
don't think
act.
that's Hawks'
I feel
fault.
awful for how things went down.
Do you have any idea how many people lost their homes, their livelihoods this week?
That's
I don't think you
that's the
understand how
villain's
much
fault,
You screwed up.
not.
It was the villains who did this, sure, but the
Okay.
only reason they were able to wreak havoc on such a scale is because of your mistakes.
Okay.
We stood up.
Take care of the villains on the street. Be a hero.
We are no longer equipped to protect so many citizens. With that in mind, we have patterned a temporary solution.
Okay, what is
After
it?
Consulting with government officials, UA High and other schools with hero courses
Oh my
will
god.
be designated as emergency shelters. There should be plenty of space
Oh,
in
they're
these facilities
shelters.
for anyone who is scared or seeking protection.
Okay.
Families of enrolled students are already moving into these
Oh,
buildings.
really?
You
Awesome.
want us to leave our homes with no idea when we can go back? Direct your blame and anger at me, but let us help you. Again, I'll say honestly.
Our champions are
Okay.
at a crossroads. Then the heroes disappeared.
Oh,
that day.
Moko.
Even so, there are those still willing to fight.
Oh, his eye. Darby, he's honestly doing better than you would have expected,
he said he knew
surely.
nothing about it.
What is this? All for one?
Oh.
The villains are after him?
Poor Midoriya.
Wow,
Uraraka.
he told everyone.
Thank you
Oh,
so much.
personalized letters.
It's time for you and the rest of our class to know everything. And it's dangerous to be near me. So I'm leaving UA.
Oh my god.
Being in the hero course and meeting everyone in Class A has made me happier than
No.
I could ever imagined. And goodbye.
You idiot. Then who will be willing to follow
He's
them
leaving
when they're
UA?
suffering? Deku left our hero academy.
Oh my god. Oh my god, is he just a vigilante now? Oh my god. I feel like I'm in mourning a little bit. Like none of the characters died that I can remember, like, you know, in this episode, but man, like, this was even kind of like closer to a hopeful episode in a way, in some ways, but in other ways it's really sad, you know, because I mean, since the war arc, this show has been all about this sort of like just this slow decline, this like terrible, horrible decline of everything that they know, and it's really sad to watch. I mean, it's amazing to watch in terms of like storytelling. I'm really enjoying it, but it's so sad because I love this show so much, and I love the characters, and I want them to be happy, you know. And it's just like every episode, it feels like happiness will never return, you know. So it's really that whole thing is really sad. I guess I have several things to talk about. But I'll talk first about the final thing we came across, which is Deku leaving UA. Wow. I mean, that show's called My Hero Academia. Like, it's about his schooling life, you know. So back in season, I'm normally good with this. Season 3, I believe it was, when Deku and All Might were talking to Deku's mum about like UA and if he should still go there. There was a bit where Deku came in and he was like, "Mum, it doesn't have to be UA." He came in with the letter from Kota, and he was like, "I want to save people. Like, I don't really care how I do it. Of course I want to be at All Might's alma mater, but if I can't be, I'm gonna find a way to be a hero no matter where I am, you know." And in that moment, it was like, it was sort of making us think that he might not go back to UA because his mum won't let him. And in that time, you know, I was never really convinced that he wouldn't go back to UA. I felt like his All Might would convince his mum, or his mum would come around for one reason or another. But here, I legitimately think it's possible he never goes back to UA, which would be so sad for me, because, I mean, that's where all his friends are, that's the place he wanted to study, you know, like, that's really, really sad. And just, like, the fact that everyone's sitting there reading that note, and the fact that that's gonna make me cry, the fact that they separated Uraraka so that, into her own little section, so that she was like reflecting on it on her own. And then on top, I mean, I'm a huge Uraraka fan, as you can see. I'm constantly wearing this damn shirt. And the fact that like Lucy Christian, the voice of Uraraka, she was narrating the stuff. Like I mean, I said there like, oh, they should get Lucy Christian to narrate everything, just because I love her voice, and I think like her way of delivering this narration is like really good for the emotion of these scenes, you know. But I mean, it also revealed why she was narrating, because we're seeing Deku leaving from her perspective, which is this like really horrible and sad situation that like we feel powerless against, you know. Like he didn't even have that discussion with Uraraka. He left her a note, you know. I feel like Uraraka would have tried to convince him to stay, and he didn't even give her that chance. And so we as viewers are the same. We can't tell Deku to stay. We just have to watch as Deku leaves. And so I guess now he's going to become a vigilante. Like, that's what it looks like, you know, because his costume always looked kind of vigilante-esque. But that's crazy, because I wish I could grab it right now, but it's actually covered in a bunch of books. Actually, maybe I can. Oh no, I almost dropped so many books there. I almost dropped so many, because I got all this manga on top of the manga that I want to talk about. I've got the MHA Vigilantes manga, which, if you don't know, is a spin-off story of MHA, and I've only got up to volume 9, but I've read all of it. But I only own up to volume 9. But I mean, this manga is about a completely different character. It's set before MHA. It's about this guy, Koichi. You can see him on the front there. If it's gonna, okay, it's not gonna show properly, but Koichi is the main character. This guy on the front, and I mean the whole vigilante thing sort of reminds me of Koichi, because Koichi, his thing is he sort of like wears an All Might hoodie. That's his sort of costume. And in the same way, Deku seems to be wearing his like rabbit hoodie over his head, you know. And it just feels like hoodies just give a vigilante vibe to me, at least. But anyway, I've said it before in these videos, but the Vigilantes manga is actually really fun and great. Especially if you like the world of MHA, it does a pretty good job at expanding upon the world quite a bit, you know? And plus, what's her name? It's been a while since I've read this, so I'm trying to remember exactly what her name is. It's Pop something. Well, this girl, it's like Poplock or something. This girl right here is one of my favorite characters in MHA. In the MHA franchise, I just really like her, and I would love for the series to get an anime one day so that I can see her animated. But anyway, so all of that to say, I think Deku's going to be a vigilante, which is crazy because there's already an MHA Vigilantes, but we're going to get our own version of it. I wonder, because I'm pretty sure like Vigilantes was going on when this was being written in the manga. Like, I think it was probably part way through when this was happening in the manga. I'm trying to put my books back safely. Okay, that's somewhat safe. So I wonder if Horikoshi was like sort of inspired by the spin-off manga, because the spin-off manga isn't written by Horikoshi. He like is a consultant or whatever on it. I assume he just went like the writer, which is Furu. It's upside down now, but I think it's Furuhashi. The writer Furuhashi, I think he just like went to Horikoshi every once in a while and was like, yo, I'm planning to have this happen in the Vigilantes manga. Is that cool? Does that mess with anything? And then I'm sure like some of the stuff that directly related to MHA, like they had an Aizawa backstory and stuff in there. I'm sure that stuff they consulted pretty closely on, because that ended up coming back in MHA, you know, with what's his face? Oh my gosh, why can't I remember his name? The warp guy, Warp Gate. Kurogiri. and came back with Kurogiri and stuff. So anyway, I wonder if Horikoshi was seeing the Vigilantes manga and he was like, I wonder if it would be interesting if Deku was a Vigilante for a while. So anyway, so we found out that One for All only properly works if it's inherited by a quirkless person. Otherwise, the power is kind of too much for them and they end up just kind of dying before they can do anything useful. But if it's being held by a quirkless person, they have enough, they're able to inherit it, or at least all of this is just the theories of the people who have held One for All. None of this is like confirmed in any way, but I think for the most part, like if they're going to spend an entire episode talking about it, I reckon it's probably mostly true, but because of that, Deku is probably going to be the last. I mean, look, they said you could pass it on to a quirkless, but they're very rare nowadays, and because they were rare, I think they concluded that he's probably going to be the last holder. I reckon Deku can find one quirkless person, in the next 15 years or whatever. I reckon he'd be able to do it and just mildly train them up a little bit. I wonder, if he was to give it to a 35-year-old, would that be helpful? Or would their body sort of be already too old and not be able to inherit it properly, and they would just die 2 years later or something? Would that be the case? Before they can even properly train with it, they would just die. I don't know. I have no idea how it would work. But I mean, regardless, whoever it was passed on to, it's going to be an extremely powerful quirk. So I think it might actually be too powerful for a person to handle, even if Deku did try to pass it on to someone, which is funny because, so spoilers for the Heroes Rising movie. So if you haven't seen MHA Heroes Rising, which you probably should have at this point, but if you haven't, I'm going to spoil the ending. So in Heroes Rising, he passed it on to Bakugo temporarily. Now, Heroes Rising isn't technically canon, or actually, I think it is technically canon, but they just will never mention it again. It's a semi-canon film where it's like, yeah, it happened, but we're not going to have it affect the story at all. But so he passed it on to Bakugo, who did already have a quirk. So if Bakugo would have kept it, if it would have transferred fully, because their hand wavy thing was that it didn't transfer fully. If Bakugo had not, what am I saying? If Bakugo had fully inherited it, Bakugo would have not been it would have been dangerous. He would have probably been, because he's also got a very powerful quirk. So look, they were talking about the fourth wielder who had danger sense, right? And they were talking about the imagery of the cup, right? And so he's already got some water in the cup. I'll use a bottle. He's already got let's say this much water in the bottle. So when One for All tries to fill it, it'll go up to here, and then it just overflows and breaks his body. But Deku obviously has an empty bottle, so it fills right up to the top, and then you can nicely seal it. Bakugo, I feel like, isn't down here. I feel like Bakugo is up here. He's got a lot of a quirk, Todoroki, I feel like, is up here, just because not only has he got a powerful quirk, he's got two quirks, really. So I think Todoroki would be there. I remember in season 2, they were saying when Deku was like, you shouldn't have passed it on to me, you should have passed it on to someone like Todoroki, and All Might's you speak the truth. If someone like Todoroki inherited this power, he'd probably be unstoppable, I remember them saying that, and at the time, I'm like, yeah, of course he'd be unstoppable, because it bolsters your quirk. So So both of Todoroki's quirks would have been strengthened on top of him getting all the other quirks and everything else that he gets. However, now we know that probably would have been very bad, because sure, he would have been extremely powerful for a little bit of time before his body gave out, you know? That's scary and sad. And scary and sad. Wow. They also talk about killing Shigaraki and whether he can do it or not, although Nana was saying it's probably it was a test. She was testing to make sure he had the resolve to properly handle this situation. I assume the One for All users don't want to kill Shigaraki. I think they're all in the same mind as Deku, which is we can probably save him, maybe. I don't know. I feel like they could, but I don't know honestly where this series is fully going. Yeah, I feel like I'm really in the dark about how the direction this series is going, which I'm glad about since I love this series and I want to not know where it's going. But yeah, it's whatever. It reminds me a lot of the end of Avatar. If you haven't seen the Avatar Last Airbender, I'm not going to talk about it. But if you have seen the Avatar Last Airbender, you know what I'm talking about. And finally, they've got emergency shelters, or they're using the UA and other schools as emergency shelters, which kind of makes sense, right? We don't have heroes, but you can go stay at these hero schools, so there will be a lot of heroes. I thought they were just going to say they're just going to deploy all hero students as heroes, like as just full-time heroes. But it's not quite like that. Instead, it's like we're using them as kind of a barrier. On top of that, like, UA has incredible security, right? Obviously, Gentle and La Brava were possibly able to break through it, but they never ended up doing it, but they were pretty confident they could do it. But a lot of villains would struggle to break through those barriers. So that will deter 95% of villains, I would say, from attacking certain citizens. But I mean, yeah, that just means that like Deku's mom and Bakugo's mom and stuff are gonna be on campus. I just realized it was showing like Deku's mom and Bakugo's mom like hanging out, wasn't it? I was sort of distracted by the fact that they were on campus and I wasn't even thinking about it. Are they friends now? Because that would be really cute if they had like a book club. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video because I have another episode to watch. So I don't want to discuss this episode for an hour and then not have time to record the next video. So that was a lot of lore, a lot of crazy stuff. Please make sure to support this video and support my channel as best you can to help get me new viewers, new subscribers, new people coming to this channel and helping me out. But also comment down below, tell me what you think about this situation without spoiling or hinting at anything in the future. I'm talking like, don't tell me what's happening in the Japanese, don't be like, oh, if you liked this arc you're gonna love the next arc or whatever, like that sort of stuff. I mean, I guess that comment specifically is fine, but like, don't be like, oh, if you love this arc, or if you love Deku being a vigilante, you're gonna love what Uraraka does next or something, you know, like stuff that I'm able to sort of piece together things that happen. Don't do that sort of stuff. But also make sure to go to my Patreon account if you want full-length early access and exclusive videos. I got Bochi the Rock reactions on there right now. If you like Bochi the Rock, it's exclusive to my Patreon right now. Go check it out. Thanks for watching this video. Please come back for the next video. Come back for the next MHA video, which is coming out very soon. I'll see you then. Goodbye.